Welcome back to Be Rich. So I wanted to discuss the effects of pandemic and what it has happened into one of my pet topics. One of my pet topics has always been the rich always get richer and the poor always remain poor. The transition from poor to rich is an extremely difficult path and very few manage to do it. And those who manage to do it is because of education and ability to lift themselves up to the next level. It is not possible without education and proper schooling that somebody manages to do this in India. Why does this happen? Why is there so much divide between the rich and the poor? Like I have always pointed out to you, the rich are already born into assets like me. We win an ovarian lottery, we come with a proper landed property, we already have assets of stocks and bonds, and we have some gold. So it's in a test match, it's like batting at 100 for no loss. The wicket falls and the new batsman comes, the score is 100 for 1. Whereas in the case of the poor, the marginalized and the lower middle class, they are born with debt already. Even when they are born, the father has to take a loan to get their delivery done, or it is done in a government hospital. The resources are meager and shared with a lot of people. So even the food and the nutrition one gets at a young age itself starts difference. In India, you can see the difference very starkly between children who are born of very wealthy parents or upper middle class and kids born of lower middle class. Normally, there is a stunted children problem. Even between the people in south and north of India, you can see these kids. These are known as stunted children. Children are stunted because they do not have access to nutrients at a very young age. Now, this makes things extremely difficult, and there is a mobility problem in the sense of the poor getting to the rich. But even then, there's a very minor problem of the rich losing all their assets and becoming poor. But this does not compensate for much. So the rich remain richer and a longer period. And then every bout of inflation or every crisis like this pandemic makes the wealthy even wealthier. Why do I say this? Somebody like me has enough stocks, enough bonds, and enough gold. In this pandemic, from March to till date, what has happened is millions of my countrymen have lost their jobs. They have lost their livelihood, and those who have jobs, except perhaps in IT, have taken a pay cut at least for some period of time. Some of the pay cuts have been restored, but in industries like tourism and teaching, these pay cuts remain. All this while, the big funneled by poor, low, zero-cost money coming in from the West, and Shaktikant is giving more zero money. The money has flowed from banks into various asset classes, which people like us already own. The stock markets are at an all-time high. Bond rates are excellent. Gold has climbed, and land value has not declined, even though it should have declined by much. So our assets have grown without us working anything. Even if I did not add to my assets, I have got more and more richer than the man on the street. So this is basically because of privileged birth. Because my father already knew me a broker, all I had to do was continue the relationship. I already knew the ropes. I knew how to invest. I knew what I could do, and everything was handed on a platter to me. For the lower middle class, there is no financial education. Nobody has taught them personal finance. Personal finance is not a subject that is taught in school. So what happens is they have to make costly mistakes to learn the ropes. They become victims of fly-by-night operators who float Ponzi schemes. I was very surprised that under my own nose in Mylapore, a guy was running a Ponzi scheme when he collected lakhs of rupees from gullible lower middle class people who had even borrowed and pledged money to invest in his scheme, where he said stock market would give them regular returns of 2 to 3% every month. That was absolute bullshit. Now he has down his shutters and run away, and the poor and the middle class, lower middle class, are left paying the debts. So this lack of knowledge is itself a big problem. And once this lack of knowledge is solved, then comes the knowledge of the access and the access to brokers. Because most brokers will not open an account unless they can make some money by buying and selling of securities. And if somebody does open a broker account, the cost for such an account are far higher in the case of a lower middle class person than somebody like me who already knows how to negotiate, what to negotiate, and how much I can get. And how much ever a broker tempts me, I am not going to indulge in daily trades. So these advantages have meant that the gap between the rich and the poor continue to increase. Recently, in an article in Financial Times, Ram Durai of TCS's son Tarun Ramadurai, who teaches financial economics in the Imperial College in London, wrote that for the first time, financial technology, that is fintech, can make sure that the gap between the poor and the rich is bridged. I don't think so. What can happen definitely is that the delivery system of money can become free. Before, I could not go and deposit cash in my bank because if I had deposited more than the required, I would have to pay a fine. If I have to transfer money from one account to another account, I had to pay fees through NEFT, or I had to use a checkbook for which a check cost money, or I used IMPS, I had to pay 5 rupees. Raghuram Rajan's National Payment Company has made sure that India has leapfrogged in the payments industry. We have a BMAP which can transfer money from one bank account to another bank account with no cost. This has definitely democratized money and enabled the rich and the lower middle class, even though some frauds have come. The opening of companies like Zerodha mean that the poor get access to broking and financial markets at very low cost. But there are two fundamental problems in this. One is, who is going to provide the risk capital for the intermediary like a bank to lend to the poor? Banks are too large and cannot afford to do this task. So even microfinancing institutions have become too big and their cost of capital is so high, and therefore their cost of loans is also high. We need micro institutions to which resources can be fed and through which these people can borrow. The other thing which most required is personal financial education in the mother tongue of the child. That is missing, and I am trying to do my bit by this YouTube channel and a compatriot one in Tamil. Thank you for watching. Be rich. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.